This video was sponsored by Squarespace. One of my goals for 2026 is to stop spending so much time on my phone. I've done a few things that have helped so far, such as getting like proper alarm clock, graying up my screen, and like on weekends, I'll delete my social media apps. These have all helped, but one thing that I would really like to try is to make a sort of home for my phone. That way I can put it away and it's not gonna follow me around the house. And that way I'll be less tempted, right? Even better if it's a beautiful and convenient piece of office furniture. So here's what I came up with. The phone will be placed horizontally so it can function as a clock while it's not in use. There will be a MagSafe charger behind it. This is to keep it charged, but also it will be like a little reminder for me to keep remembering to put it back in this spot. I also wanted a spot for my headphones because they just tend to like float around my apartment, but these will also need a cable charger. When looking for inspiration for this project, I saw a lot of really beautiful designs that sort of looked like mid-century space agey. So that's what I want to go for. So sort of like straight lines, soft corners, and maybe like a neutral kind of glaze. I'm not really sure what color yet. The first thing I need to do is roll some slabs. I really have no idea if I rolled out the correct amount of slabs. I just used up a bag of Reclaim. I think it should be enough. I can confirm it was very stinky because this was the Reclaim from the Lego tiles video. I don't know if you saw that one where I used cornstarch and it's been sitting maybe a month in this clay and the cornstarch has gotten moldy. It's pretty stinky, but it's totally fine. And I'm happy to use it up now. Okay, I'm going to let these dry out now overnight. I want them to firm up because this is going to be a very like straight lined structure. So I don't want to be working with clay that's not leather hard. But one thing I can do now is I want to make a sort of prototype for this project because so much of it is based on like the size of things. For example, I need this to fit. I need it to sit at the proper height for my foam. This is a deceptively difficult project because the measurements are a lot more important in this project than they are in other projects that I usually do. I need to factor in my shrinkage. I've got my shrinkage tile from my air conditioner video. And yeah, I need to make sure that I do everything correctly, which is a little bit stressful for me. Okay, let's make this prototype. I grabbed some of the boxes that I use for shipping and I'm just gonna make this out of cardboard. My thought is that I'll make this to the scale that I want it and then I can increase everything by the percentage of the shrinkage. That is my thought. I made my prototype. So one thing that I've already discovered, I want this to be elevated a little bit. And I was thinking I could like build like a little box or something to go underneath it, but why don't I just use a thicker slab to elevate it? Because that will also give it this really nice stability as well, I think. So I'm gonna roll out a 1 centimeter thick slab for that. This guy is gonna go back here. One thing that I have to be very careful about is the distance between this little ledge that the phone is going to rest on and where this lives, because like, I don't know if you've used one of these before, but it needs to sit in like a very precise spot on the back of the phone. It sort of like clicks into place. And then for the headphones charger, I'm gonna make a little hole. It's gonna snake through the back. And then I was thinking I need some sort of like hook or bead or something that I can put over the end so it's not gonna fall through the back because it needs to be wide enough for the head to snake through and like it needs to be removable. But I feel pretty good about this. Like this is kind of what I was envisioning plus like a little bit more height to it. I think all that's left to do is roll out a 1 centimeter slab, set that aside to dry, and then I'm also going to take measurements of this and do the math. I need to increase it by 7%. So I need to take all these measurements and multiply them by 1.07. And that should get the right shrinkage. It's kind of a gamble because Clay shrinks so unpredictably. I mean, we're talking a few millimeters off. We're not talking a huge amount off here, but it does shrink differently based on, you know, the water content of the clay, where it's placed in the kiln, like how hot it specifically gets for how long. So I'm gonna do my best here. What can I do but my best? I don't know if I'm just being silly. No, I'm not being silly. I'm not being silly. I was like doubting myself because like how important are these measurements actually? But if I want it to look nice, if I want it to look like this, like feel proportionate and all that, it is important. What is definitely important is the measurement for these bits. Yeah, I feel like this is fine. This is enough. The front, the back, the bottom, and then the circle cutout and the gap between the circle cutout and the little ledge that the phone rests on. I feel like the rest I can just make up as I go. Okay, let's roll it a slab. Okay, see you tomorrow. Let's take a little break to talk about today's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that artists and entrepreneurs use to stand out and succeed online. I've been using Squarespace pretty much ever since I started my online business because it has incredibly easy to use features, including the drag and drop website builder and integrated SEO tools. Whether you're just starting out or managing a thriving brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website to sell anything from physical products to memberships, digital products, and even services. You can also schedule appointments, create on-brand invoices, and send newsletters. And for the artists watching, I know you will love their cutting-edge design tools, where you can create a bespoke website that perfectly fits your brand or business. So head to squarespace.com right now for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/potterytothepeople for 10% off your very first website or domain. Now let's get back to the video. Good morning. I'm hoping that these have dried to the correct level of dryness, and they're not too firm. Okay, you see this guy? It's actually kind of perfect because if I really tried to bend it, I would bend it, but I want to keep it as straight as possible for now so it doesn't warp. And then these guys, I ended up wrapping them in some plastic because I was just worried they would get too dry. Yeah, a little on the dry side, but looking pretty good. Okay, I've got my measurements, so I guess I'm just gonna start cutting things out. With just these 3 pieces, I should be able to start to form our piece. And I've got a bunch of offcuts that I'm saving for the ends and extra bits and stuff, all the stuff that I'm probably not considering right now and need to think about. So you go here and you go here. Straightforward. The only thing is, I guess I should attach to the bottom last. I'm gonna attach these 2 together first. So with these, because they're on the dry side, I'm gonna score, add water, and then score again. And that's gonna let me get a much deeper score the second time. You know, I never really understood the idea of like making extra slip because when you add water to the clay, it makes slip on the clay. So I don't feel the need to like ever have an extra jar of slip. I don't know. I'm sure it depends on your clay, but I don't feel the need with my clay. Like it's like sticking to my scorer. It's slip. Just do this on a board. Seams aren't super tidy, but don't worry, I'm going to tidy those up later. I'm wondering if I need to also reinforce the inside or if that's just gonna make it more bulky. I feel like this is like surprisingly stable. Don't feel good about these holes that are in the front. That's kind of annoying. Just stuff some clay in there. Will that work? I mean, the glaze will smooth it out a bit, but let's see if that helps. I think I'm going to add the ends now to close it off. The one thing I'm like a little unsure of still is like this a little bit. Like, imagine these are headphones. Like, looks very thin. The rest of it is going to look kind of hardy because I'm gonna close these off. I'm not sure. Let's close off these ends. Ironically, because it's so too dry to be adding things, it's making it really easy to smooth things out because I really like this kind of like level of crumbliness when it comes to smoothing things out. I find that, I don't know, it just gets like much cleaner lines. So oftentimes I'll wait until like the next day or something to do these kind of touch-ups, but I can actually do them today. I'm just gonna like tidy this guy up for a little bit. I'm still not sure how I feel about this, but let's see. I think I really have to add something here. It's just gonna bother me otherwise. So I think what I'm going to do is add like another one of these triangle shapes, but angle it to the front, forward, like maybe straight down. And then we can have, if I do something like this, it's off, right? But like, you know, something like this, then we can have also like an additional facet here, which I think would look really cool. But if I do that, I'm not gonna have enough space for my headphones. I think I have to do it like this, which is fine. It's just kind of odd. So I'm not gonna finish this, I fear. Something like that. I really gotta run now. This is not perfect, but I'm gonna come back and tidy it up later. It's looking pretty good. And I could continue on if I have more time, but I do not. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow. Maybe I'll come back later tonight. We shall see how this evening proceeds. All right. Bye. Good morning. It is the next day, and I hope I didn't like shoot myself in the foot here by leaving it until today because it was a little on the dry side. I did spray it with water. Actually, I think it was good knowing that this is okay. I think it was good that I waited because I had some revelations last night. As usual, I was thinking about this as I fall asleep. And I realized I can't actually just cut a hole for this little guy because then it's gonna fall through to the other side. I don't know what I was thinking. Obviously I can't do that. So I'm really glad I saved this little piece here. I don't know, might be big enough. I need to like create a recession for it to stick back into, and then I can stick it in there and it won't fall through. The other realization that I had is that I don't know if I need this little ledge thing here because it just holds it. I don't need it to like, I don't need anything underneath it. And the reason that like, if I don't need it, I don't want to add it is because the measurement between the magnet and the ledge is so crucial that it's likely that I'm going to not get it perfectly right. So if I can just have it stick to the magnet, like it's just gonna stick like that. I don't need that ledge. That's good. Now my question is, how am I going to do this? I think I need to cut a little hole in the bottom here now because how am I going to attach something to the back here? Okay, wait, let's look at our sketch. First things first, do I have a circle? 5.9 centimeters. This is magically 5.8 centimeters. And I think by the time I cut it out, it will be 5.9. This is pretty tight. I need to add a bit more wiggle room. Should we just go with 6? We're gonna go with 6 centimeters, I think. Okay, this is 6 centimeters in diameter, and the charger thing is 5.6. So We're assuming a 1/2 centimeter shrinkage. I feel like that's okay. I feel like it might be a little bit on the big side, but I would rather it be too big than too little. I need a little badoop here for the cord to go out. So the question is, do I want it like this? Do I want it like this? Probably not. This or down? I feel like I want it like this. It's like gesturing towards this. Something about like seeing the wires lends it to that look that I'm going for. So I'm just gonna trace this on here and then we'll cut it out. It's obviously not perfect. The compass is quite precise, but cutting it out and then tracing it and then cutting it out again is all adding layers of imperfection. So again, that's why we need a little bit more wiggle room. And we're gonna get it looking as perfect as we humanly can, because that's the best I can do. Now, I'm afraid I need to cut out something on the bottom here. This is also going to help with preventing cracking if the clay has a little bit more, if it's not fully like this closed off shape, because I'm gonna need to get in there and add a layer of something behind, and there's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to do that without being able to get in there. So I'm just gonna cut something as like uniform as possible. Ooh, that's why we don't cut towards ourselves. This isn't that sharp, so I didn't pierce the skin, but that was dumb. Ta-da! You might be asking yourself, why did we add a bottom just to cut it away? Trust me. So this needs to like be recessed back here, but I think I'm not gonna use this piece. I'm just gonna use another chunk of clay. I mean, I've got this random scrap. I don't want this to stick out. So like, it's gonna go in like, it's upside down. I hope that you can know that, but it's gonna go in like this. Sponge on a stick is one of the greatest pottery tools of all time. This little device here is a touch thicker than the 1/2 centimeter clay slab. So my thought is basically to just put a guy up here like so, something like that. But then is this gonna stick out too much? I actually feel like that's okay, but it's not shrunken yet. So I don't know. The alternative is much, much harder to add like a little ledge. So I think we're gonna do this. It's way easier and it's gonna be just fine. Even if it sticks out a little bit, is that a problem? I'm not so sure. Let's attach it. What do we think? It doesn't look perfectly round, that's for dang sure. I also need to make sure, like even after shrinkage, that this is gonna fit in here. That's awfully tight. I think I need to enlarge this little hole. And I need an exit, like a proper exit, not just the bottom part. So let's not forget to do that. Like the ironic thing about this build, ooh, it's not good. I need to reinforce that. Ooh, 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 ooh. I almost just crushed my entire piece. Those seams need to be reinforced, apparently. I moved something that should not have moved. Oh, now I'm worried I'm gonna get a crack. Like, I think the key with this project is precision, to get it to look like this kind of space-agey tech product. Not something that I thrive at. Like, it should almost look like it's made out of plastic. One of my big inspirations is this video that I watched here on YouTube. It's 3D printed. That's also what gave me the idea to like make it this space-age thing. But that's obviously a little bit harder to do out of clay. Well, maybe not. I've never 3D printed something. Should definitely have done this from the start. Always be reinforcing your slabs. I wasn't really worried about this project, but now I am. Now I'm worried. Okay. Entered chaos mode here. We thought we had a plan and we found out later we did not. I'm gonna cut out the bottom of this facet as well, but it's gonna be very small, mostly for shrinkage, but also for wiring the cords. Looking very space agey. I dig, and I'm spending way too much time on the bottom, I think, but it's fine, it's fine. Okay, let us make the hole for the headphone charger cord. Where are my headphones? Do I have them? Boop. That's where they be living. 2 centimeters in diameter, 1 centimeter tall. 2 centimeters wide, 1 centimeter tall. Another thing that I want to do is add a little recess for headphones to fall right into. So I feel like this spot is a little on the small side for the headphones. Yeah, it's a little on the small side. Okay, it's very much not perfect. I do find it hard to like carve out recesses like that and make them perfect. This might give away the whole handmade thing here because it's looking a little bit wonky, that's for sure. I don't know. It's probably fine. Okay, what else do we need to do? We need to add outlets. I think it's done. What color should we glaze this? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'm thinking about just doing white, honestly. You know, just a classic color. Can't go wrong. Although the devices are black. Something to ponder over while this dries. Okay, I cut a hole from this section into this section so that I can feed the headphone wire into here, and then I'm just gonna have one outlet, which will look nice and neat and tidy. I'm pretty happy with it, honestly. Like, sorry, this mess is out of control. I so rarely make something so refined like this. And it is a fun exercise for sure. It's like amazing how much time it takes to like make everything so perfectly smooth. I never usually worry about that. So like, this is definitely an interesting build for me. To me, this is a complicated build, but I'm not sure if it's like very interesting on camera. Let me know what you think. But let's visualize how it looks, huh? It's kind of cool, and there's a little cord coming out here. I'm gonna use a white one that I have upstairs that will match better. Yeah, maybe then it does make sense to glaze this in white because the wires are gonna be white. But I don't know, like with a black phone, I have to think about it. I really have to think about it, and I'm venting it right now. The sponge on a stick has truly been the hero of this project, 100%. It's not a tool I use often. My friend Bianca, who makes my template videos, she's constantly using it, and I'm always like, oh yeah, that's really handy. I always forget about it though. I think I'm gonna sign and date this one because I feel mighty proud. All right, friends, I will get back to you when it's dry and ready to put in the kiln. I will see you then. This is the first time I've dated something for 2026. That is very exciting. Okay, it's about a week later. I'm pretty sure this is fully dry. I hope so. It does sound awfully scary. Like, I mean, it sounds whole still, but there are like so many ways that this thing could crack. So let's temper our expectations. All right, pray for me. Hello. my kiln is cool enough to open, and we are praying for no cracks, all right? Okay. There's some random bits inside. It's not the prettiest on the inside. I guess I didn't do a very good job tidying. We have one small crack here. Can you see that in here? But it's superficial. It's just from the coil that I probably did not blend very well. I'm gonna say it's looking good. So I was trying to figure out what I'm gonna glaze this, and one person commented on, I don't know if it was a video or a community post, that I should use my mystery glaze more, and I agree. I should use it more. It's such a beautiful color, and I don't even think I've used it since those vases that I made. I also think it would be so pretty with the white. Like, I think it looks really nice against the white. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the mystery glaze is the glaze that I made based on all of the glaze waste. Like, I have a little glaze waste bucket down here where I wash all my tools and stuff. And this ended up being the result. And I think it's so pretty. It's like a gray blue kind of color. So because I couldn't dip the whole thing in the glaze, like my bucket just wasn't big enough, I decided to kind of do this little zigzaggy kind of glazing. Like, I double dipped it in different directions, and I hope that that will create a cool effect. I felt like that was a better decision than just having like a stripe down the middle. Like, I think the stripe looks really nice as long as it looks intentional, and oftentimes it just doesn't look intentional. And I think that this piece it wouldn't. So I tried to do something a little bit more creative with the glaze dipping. My biggest concern with this piece is the, what is it called? The little charging thing, that it's just not going to be round enough. Maybe the clay will shrink in unpredictable ways. Maybe I'll have measured badly. Like, you really don't know. Then not fit at all. We'll just have to pray to the kiln gods that it's gonna work. Kiln is cool. I'm very excited to open this. I'm mostly worried about the little puck fitting. If it warped at all, it might not fit. And if it doesn't fit, there's literally nothing I can do about it. Cracks, of course, are also a possibility, but I'm mostly worried about that. Okay. Well, first of all, I love the color. The color turned out just beautiful. It's almost like a green, I would say. Like, it's definitely blue, but it's like, I see green undertones in it, which I find really, really pretty. It's like a gray, blue, green kind of color. There is cracks. I've already seen two. So we have one decent crack on the back here. And then another, like, this is a structural crack. I mean, it's not gonna go anywhere right now. But this is another crack that's a different type of crack. It's from the coil, and I just didn't smooth it in enough, I guess. Or maybe the wall was too dry, the coil couldn't adhere to it. Expected there to be some interior cracks. There's not. I mean, like, these cracks, they're not even all the way through. So like, this thing it's solid. I'm not worried about it falling apart. And I can overlook the cracks. I mean, this is something that's just for me. So I feel like, oh, there's a little bit here as well. A little bit here as well, but that's very superficial. I personally don't care that much. I'm not surprised. Like, obviously I would like there to not be cracks, but it's fine. It's totally fine. Let us see if my puck fits. Oh, look at that. That is such a nice fit. Oh my God, how gorgeous. Okay, wait, let's feed this through and see how it goes. So we're going out the back. How nice. Look how perfect that is. That is so freaking cool. I don't really know how I'm going to attach it. I think I'm just gonna glue it. Feels kind of weird to glue something like this, but I'm gonna just do it. And then, oh, I need to grab my charger. I have my headphones here. Let me grab my charger. Okay, I got my charger and I came up with, I have a better idea. Instead of gluing this, I'm gonna use these like Tessa sticky thingies. You know what these are, right? They're super strong, super sticky, but they don't leave a residue. I think it's better. Let's put this guy in. And then remember we put a little hole here, right here, and out. It's kind of tight in there. So as I feared, its space is a little short. I mean, doesn't fit as nicely as I had hoped. It's kind of awkward. But this part's gonna work. Let's have hope. Let's have hope, okay? Should we see if it works? I'm like worried that once I put it on here, it's gonna like rip the tape part off, the Tessa. Look how cool. Okay, wait. Like this is solid. It's pulling the thing before it's like, this is going nowhere. Really solid here. I love this part. This part, I'm like, ugh, I'm a little bummed about this. I guess I should have made it a little bit wider. I'm not sure, like it doesn't sit nicely, which is bothering me. And I can't like push this back up in here because I'm going to need to grab this thing to plug it in. I don't know, should I could put like a little succulent here or like maybe a cup for some pens instead. Or I could just leave it and just allow it to sit a little bit wonkily and just be like, it's fine, it's fine. I'm so tickled about this though. I think that this looks so good. And can you imagine this up on my shelf? How nice. So I'm hoping that this is going to help me with my cell phone addiction. And the idea, you know, as I mentioned in the beginning, is it's not going to follow me around the house like my phone finally has in a way, where it never had in a way. It had a charging like area, but honestly I would like carry the charger around with me. I'm not gonna carry this thing around with me. And the fact that it's like this kind of passive charger is kind of cool. I think that that's really cool. I am very, very happy with this and hopefully it helps me in this new year. All right, friends, if you decide to make a project like this, please let me know. Please send me photos. I would love to see what you come up with. And that's it for me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.